Ooh. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. What's up? What's up? My cat is. She drank. Oh, one moment. I gotta fix this. There we go. She drank my water that I specifically got for the stream to have. And so I had to get a new water. And then I got her. And then I, and then I got her own water. Oh my gosh. Okay. So she's turning off my mic and oh my gosh, this is hectic. Kitty, I love you, but I gotta talk to these people. Yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Today, you fool, she's still going to record. Yeah. Today I'm gonna be going over your guys' homebrew that you sent me. I got a pretty good amount of submissions, and towards the end I might give a little bit of a homebrewery tutorial. I'm definitely going to be making my own video on it as well, though. There's a lot to cover, so that's why I'm going to try to... I've been kind of working with... I even contacted the homebrewery team to let me know if there's anything they specifically wanted me to cover and all that stuff, so yeah. Get the cat to review the homebrew? Yeah, that might be what ends up happening. Oh my gosh. This is Cassie. She's 14. Oh my gosh. She's 14 years old. I love her very much. But yeah, go over there. Okay. Okay, sorry. I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm getting my setup all... Oh my gosh, this cat. Yeah, she's a very vocal cat. Yeah, she's a diluted tortoiseshell. So my office is really hot in the summer, even though I have my air conditioning set to 69. It doesn't quite reach the top floor. So I'm a little sweaty, but that's okay. So anyway, I have SRD over here, just in case we have any SRD people that want to, use the SRD. I can reference it here. Best number. Oh yes, indeed. I have D&D Beyond up for rules considerations. I'm at 67 right now, and it's so hot. It's no lower than 69. Yeah, no, totally. How's the volume, by the way? I sometimes, when I stream, my volume is like not what it should be. So I want to make sure the volume's looking good. Okay, dashboard. Can I close this? I wanted to present my Patreon stuff. There we go. No. How do I get this sidebar to go away? Oh my god. I'll just do this. And I'll make it smaller, custom size. Oh, there we go. For you guys who are new to the stream, I am Comrade Warners. I just go by Warners, though. Just Warners was taken when I made this account, so yeah. I make my own homebrew PDF documents. I just finished my first year of posting a subclass every month, and now I have my 12 subclass pack available. Not only that, though, but Monday, I'm releasing my brand new PDF, the Black Scale Ranger, and I'm super excited for it. Friend of the stream, Corey McNaught, made this amazing art for it. A lot of you guys also saw my various playtests I did for it. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it's a very cool subclass, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I inspired you. Yeah. Yeah, super cool art. You have the freaking... Dude, that black dragon in the background is literally like... this is just like it is in the player's handbook. I mean, in the monster manual. It's crazy. Oh, how's it going? Good volume? Okay, cool. Oh, no worries. Yeah, trying to keep up with chat. There's a lot going on. But yeah, I'm gonna go in order of submission for the homebrew review. And let me take a look at what I have. So Hybrid Dom is the first person that submitted a document. And yeah, let's take a look at it. Awesome. I got it right here. Ooh. One moment. There we go. And then let's get that going. Okay, I'm just getting everything all situated real quick. Make sure it looks good on the stream. Okay, yeah, we can see that. Yeah, so Hybrid Dom, friend of the stream. You guys know Hybrid Dom. You probably saw him in DSR's Discord. Looks like he has a Warlock subclass in here. Okay. And it's called the Ancestors Patron, Ancestral Patron Warlock. That kind of reminds me of the recent, what do they call it? There's a sorcerer subclass in a UA recently. It's coming out, I think. Actually, we don't know what that one's, or no, is that one coming out in Unearthed Arcana? I forget. But I'm pretty sure it was in apocalyptic subclasses. I just like to know these things. I was waiting on sending something, but 99.9% of my stuff is still designed for 5e. Ah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm mostly... Oh, no. We have the... What is that one? Yeah, I mostly just do the... I'm just doing 5.5e for this subclass, for this homebrew review. I guess the Sorcerer King, but no, there was like a... Wasn't there a one that was literally like your ancestral sorcery? Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, and this one I think is coming out in Arcana Unleashed. Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah, not everyone is a big fan of 5.5. I personally really like 5.5. There are, there's things I don't like about it, but I feel like for the most part, I like what they changed. And but there are problems with it. But there are problems with 5e as well. So yeah, we have the Ancestral Patron Warlock. The ancestors speak to you, reminding you of the many trials and tribulations they have faced before you were born. Your reverence for the ancestors and their approval in you empowers you to take on challenges many would never expect you to overcome. You know that one day you too will take your place among the ancestors, providing guidance and strength to your descendants. That's actually a pretty cool concept for a warlock. It's not what warlock subclasses typically are, but that's totally fine. I feel like in a way it's sort of like whatever mystical power this family has is passed down through generations. And yeah, it's pretty interesting for a concept. Ancestral Sorcery hasn't made it into a book yet. Most of my stuff is 5e and in Icelandic, so I've been converting and translating. Oh, nice, yeah. I do not know Icelandic, unfortunately. That would be pretty cool, though. as a third edition binder element to it. Oh yeah, Kevin told me about that when the Vestige Warlock came out. Oh, by the way, I wanted to preface this at the beginning of the stream, just so we all understand what's going on. I am doing this homebrew review to help people with their homebrew, and I trust you guys will already know this, but I just want to make it clear. We are being kind with our criticisms of people's homebrew, and we are trying our best to encourage people to make their own homebrew, no matter where they are on their skills or where they are on, how it might be their first homebrew. And so, yeah, we want to be kind with our criticisms. And what else? I'm going to be focusing mostly on mechanics, and then I'll give some tips here or there on certain grammatical things and like formatting things. Also, one other thing, I asked in the questionnaire a few other questions because it's important to when you're making homebrew, what you're making it for. This one is just for a home game. So we don't have to worry about SRD. We don't have to worry about like any licensing stuff. They basically can do whatever they want. And they said power balance. What are you particularly looking to get advice on? Power balance compared to warlocks and clerics. Does the fantasy come through clearly? Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask questions just so that I understood the context of what they wanted me to go over, and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I already talked about the themes, and for level 3, we have Gift from the Ancestors. They had to do it all by hand with no help, so that you do not have to. Okay, cool. When you perform your magical cunning rites, you can give yourself proficiency in one skill, tool, or weapon of your choice. This proficiency lasts until you complete a short or long rest, or the next time you use your magical cunning. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I would consider that it's not just a ribbon, it is a useful ability. Typically, warlocks have, if you don't include their expanded spells, they typically have 3 level 3 abilities. And it looks like this warlock doesn't have an expanded spell list, but I think there's a reason for that here. Level 3, spell knowledge from beyond. I'll talk about level 3 as a whole after I get a full picture of it. Yeah, it is your thing. Oh, what? On my screen, I'm looking at. Yeah, on my screen, I'm looking at the warlock. Let me see. So when you complete a long rest, you can select 2 additional spells from any class's spell list. Okay. You have those spells prepared until the next time you take a long rest. The spells must be of a equal to or lower than your highest pack magic slots. The spell must be a conjuration, divination, or necromancy spell and cannot have the ritual tag. Okay. Huh. Okay, so I'm gonna go with what I said. I'm gonna read the next level. Oh no, I'm looking at OBS and I'm on the right one. This is the Ancestor Patron Warlock. Then we have Ancestral Endurance. You have climbed muddy hills and snowy mountains. Yeah, I'm not on the UA right now. I don't think so. That's not what's on the screen. But I was a second ago, yeah. Traveling through difficult terrain does not cost you extra movement. You can use your charisma modifier when determining your carry capacity. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Sorry. Okay, so here at level 3, we get proficiency in one skill, tool, or weapon of our choice. And then we can switch it out when we do magical cunning, short rest, or long rest. That's pretty interesting. And then we get 2 spells instead of an expanded spell list. And then we get traveling through difficult terrain does not cost you extra movement speed. And you can use your charisma modifier when determining your carry capacity. So yeah, I would say gift from the ancestors is really good. And I one thing I would recommend is to word it a bit differently. And I'll show you let me go to D&D Beyond. So this is a big hint, a big tip for what I do when I make homebrew. At least, if I'm trying to make something, I look at official rules that have something kind of similar. Oh, this is the wrong Eberron. So the Kalishatar from the new Eberron book, they have. Is it the Kalishatar? I might be thinking of a different. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the Eberron. I'm thinking of the Eberron elf species, half elf species. Okay. I forgot. Is it like? It's definitely a K name. Let's just go with rules species. Oh yeah. So they have skill proficiency. Skill versatility. You gain proficiency in one skill with one tool of your choice. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace it with another skill or tool proficiency. I would start with it saying about you gaining proficiency. And then once you gain the proficiency, then you can use magical rights or change it out with a short or long rest. Oh, Astral Elf is the same? Okay, cool. And that's just a wording thing. But it gets you with what you'd like. For spell knowledge from beyond, I do think it's a creative idea, but I do think it is a bit underpowered. And what I mean by that is, I honestly think this should have its own spell list on top of this ability. So I think you should keep this ability and then add a subclass spell list as well. Because even though Gift from the Ancestors and Ancestral Endurance are both decent abilities, their power level isn't super high. And then I feel like spell knowledge from beyond is the standout feature here. But I feel like you were trying to be careful to not make it too powerful. And getting the subclass spell list on top of this, I think, would be totally fair. And if you want, you could even have Ancestral Endurance and Gift from the Ancestors become one ability and just name it something else. Or it could just be Gift from the Ancestors, and then Ancestral Endurance is like a little sidebar ability next to it. So let me I'll see what I do want to point out that you had mentioned that warlocks typically have 3 abilities level 3, but only about half of them do. Just depends on if one of them is a ribbon or not. Yeah. I'm surprised. I thought it seemed pretty strong. It's like Magical Secrets, but way earlier than Bard, and with school restrictions instead of Cleric, Druid, Wizard restrictions. Yeah, but the Warlock spell like subclass spell list is a big part of their power at level 3, and not having that is a big cost, I feel like. And it is only 2 spells. So that's also something to consider. Another way to think about it is typical warlocks. Like, let's look at warlocks in the player's handbook. So like we got this one. We got come on. We'll get there, I promise. I can't believe. Okay, so Archpatron Warlock, Archfey Patron, they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells at level 3. And then they get 2 more for each spell level gain after that. So it ends up being 11 extra spells. And whereas, unless we get more spells farther down, I guess we do here at level 10. But it just, it's a bit lacking in power. But creativity wise, I think it's great. This is super cool. I really like it. And then let's go to level 6, because I do kind of want to see the full picture before I say too much, because that is important. But it feels a little weak here at level 3. Power level wise. And then we have level 6 ancestral defenses. They make you capable when you thought you had nothing left. You gain a 1d4 bonus on saving throws to resist exhaustion and the poison conditions. You lose this benefit whenever you are incapacitated. Okay. Let me think. So yeah. 1d4 bonus on saving throws to resist exhaustion and the poison conditions. So the bonus on poison conditions I think is really good, because poison condition comes up a lot. Exhaustion saving throws is a bit more rare, and 1d4 bonus is pretty minor. Like for example, the dwarf gets advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. But one thing that's kind of cool about this is, because it's a unique bonus, you could be a dwarf and get resistance to poison, and then also add get advantage to poison condition saves, and also add the d4. So that is pretty cool, actually. Also, okay, actually, let's go to the dwarf. Actually, I would add a very specific wording thing. Oh yeah. Conditions shouldn't be plural. That's true. If we look at dwarven resilience, you have resistance to poison damage. You also have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the poison condition. It should have both of those, so that, because the poison condition often is a saving throw that you can get rid of by continuously, like every turn you roll to try to end it. Right now, it doesn't specify that. It says resist, which I guess if this is just for your home game, to avoid or end the poison condition, resist could be enough. But just keep in mind that language. And yeah, what Lath said, sorry, can't pronounce it. Yeah, resist is more 5e wording. Level 6 is usually Warlock's bigger feature. That, like, let's go back to, we were at on the, so like level 6 The Archfey gets Misty Escape. They get a couple of the more options for their Misty Step feature that they get at level 3. Celestial Patron. I guess, but then like Radiant Soul on the Celestial Patron is pretty minor. Fiend Warlock, Dark One's Own Luck. This one's like so good. It's crazy, honestly. I guess what I'm saying is, I think creativity wise, you're doing a great job, but don't be afraid to add a little more power to this, in my opinion. Like, for example, the Fiend Warlock, they get, when they fail an ability check or saving throw, they get to add a d10 to their roll. And they can do it charisma modifier times per long rest. But that's just on any saving throw. They get to add a d10. Again, that's a limited use ability, whereas this is just always on. I'd have it add your charisma mod in addition to your con mod for the save. Yeah, I feel like that would be good. What Kevin said. Yeah. Let me think. What else? Oh yeah, that would make it scale as well. Yeah, with your charisma mod. But yeah, let's look at level 10 though. So your spell knowledge from beyond feature allows you to pick 5 additional spells from any class spell list until the next time you finish a short rest or use your magical cunning. This does make level 3 not having their own spell list make a little more sense. You now have 7 spells that you can pick from any spell list, but it doesn't come until level 10. And so that is unfortunate. But you also get the flexibility to switch them out pretty often, which most warlocks don't get. So maybe it is pretty powerful. Maybe poison resistance as well. It's rare that you resist the condition and not the damage too. Yeah, that's true. I think if you want to have this be a thing, spell knowledge from beyond, I honestly think what you could do is you could find a way to word it at level 3 so that it naturally scales. And not be too overpowered. Like what okay, let's say you don't take the typical warlock expended spell list. Maybe it's like when you complete a long rest, you can select a number of spells equal to half your warlock level rounded down. Honestly, half your warlock level rounded down, I think would do it. Because half your warlock level rounded down would mean at level 20 you have 10 spells. And normally most warlocks get 11 and they get it a lot earlier. They get all of their spells at level 9. By level 9, you would get half of that. You would get like 5 spells by level 10. Actually, maybe that's worse. There's a way you could figure out the math on that, though, I feel like. Yeah, because you get 2, 1, 2, and then this is 7. So yeah, I guess you'd have more. Huh. There's a way you could word it. Oh yeah, I guess you're right, Lath. I think it's actually a bit ambiguous whether it's 5 on top or 2, 7 total, or 5 replacing the 2, 5 total. That's true. But I feel like there's a way at level 3 you could make it scaled naturally. It could even be like a number. It could be your charisma modifier. Maybe take inspo from school savant features. Personally, I'd use the aberrant sorcery wording. Use a standard table for the spells, but as you level up, you can replace a spell from the table with another spell of your choice. of equal level. Oh, you mean like the 5e aberrant? I think that's the 5e one. Because the current one, yeah. But yeah, you could bring it back, especially this is homebrew. You could bring it back. Yeah, so it has a class spell list, but you can choose from those schools to switch it out. Let's do this. So, server. Yeah, Aberrant Mind. Yeah. So like you could do something like this where it says when you gain sorcerer level, you can replace one spell you gain from this feature with another spell of the same level. The new spell must be divination. Yeah. You could do that, but you could make it more easily replaceable. Instead of it once per sorcerer level. But then if you have access to all these spells, maybe you might want to consider this balance of only being able to replace it sometimes. Huh. But I kind of see what they're doing. It doesn't have a high power level features besides this for the most part. And I feel like they're worried about it being too powerful. So yeah. But what's the capstone? Let's check that out. I could also do 1 plus charisma mod per short rest. Oh, hybrid dom. What's up? You're here now. You've probably been here the whole time. You just haven't talked much yet. Yeah. I could also do 1 plus charisma mod per short rest. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like limit the amount of changes. Or are you referring to the ancestral defenses? Maybe that. But the capstone, unleash the fury of your ancestors, make their voices and fury heard by your enemies. As a magic action, you can select any number of creatures within 60 feet of you and force them to make a wisdom saving throw versus your spell save DC. On a failure, the creatures take 5d6 damage, necrotic or force, and gain 1d3 levels of exhaustion. Ooh. Okay. I would. This is. Oh, wait. There's another line right here. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Okay, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. I just had to scroll down. Very save or suck. Yeah, but it's has no limit of amount of creatures. It just creatures within 60 feet. And if you're fighting a lot of creatures, that could be pretty good. The damage is actually pretty low, but you are also giving them levels of exhaustion, which is very powerful. Um, Let me think. So I noticed in ancestral defenses, you also had exhaustion. You can resist exhaustion. Level 6. Yeah, I should say creatures of your choice. Yeah. So you have sort of an exhaustion theme running here a little bit in the abilities. Maybe consider possibly having some sort of other ability at earlier levels that inflicts exhaustion. I personally, I famously am a little worried about exhaustion being too powerful of a mechanic at early levels, like that cleric that was in a UA recently. But in a subclass I'm coming out with next month, I'm having an exhaustion mechanic at early levels. So I definitely played around with exhaustion Now this is just, maybe in ancestral defenses you add an ability where, like, if you succeed on your saving throw, you can inflict exhaustion on the person that made you make a saving throw, but limit it to how long it lasts and have it be limited to like one level of exhaustion. Like have it be like, if it was level 17, if it was 17th level, I'd be okay with 1d3 exhaustion, but maybe just one level at 14. Yeah, I could see that. The damage is pretty low though. Yeah, maybe just one level of exhaustion here. But like, okay, so this is a feat that was introduced. This is a feat that was introduced on D&D Beyond drops, but they have this Vengeful Surge ability. Whenever a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself forces you to make a saving throw and you succeed, you can take a reaction to deal 1d8 fire damage to that creature, and you get a limited number of uses. This is just an idea, but what if you have a similar ability for ancestral defenses, and if you succeed on a saving throw that someone does on you, you can, as a reaction, give them a level of exhaustion. They have to make like a con save, and if they fail, they take a level of exhaustion. I feel like that would be pretty cool. And then there's a early on exhaustion ability that then connects it to level 14. That would be kind of interesting. And it would make level 6 a bit stronger. And then lower the power here, making it one level of exhaustion, but raise the damage, like Kevin said. So like, if we look at other warlocks that have a kind of AoE ability, so like the Great Old One. Oh no, they don't have that one. I'm thinking of, so the Fiend Warlock has Hurl Through Hell, which is 8d10. This is just on a single target though, so that's why it's so high. Maybe the damage is fine actually. Let me think about that. It being AoE, 5d6. I guess that's a little lower than a fireball, right? Because it's 8d6. Make it at least fireball damage, I would say. Like 8d6. Yeah, I feel like that would be fair. But yeah, Hybrid Dom, I hope that was helpful. Yeah. I should read the target must succeed on it. Yeah. Kevin is right. On a lot of these wording things, I don't worry as much when it's at just homebrew for your table, but that is correct. 10d8 instead of 8d10, perhaps 10d8. That might be good, yeah. Especially if you lower the amount of exhaustion that they gain. More minimum damage that way. Ah, that's true. Yeah, with a higher die. Yeah, because it sucks when you roll low and you roll low on a few, and then it just ends up being like, because this could technically be 5d6. You could technically get 5 damage or 6 damage. No, 5 damage on it, which would suck. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. How's it going? Yeah, I think that since it's AoE, it's any creature of your choice, it should be lower. than the Fiend Warlock, but it should probably be like 8d6. Yeah, I feel like that'd be good. And 60 feet. Oh, 안녕, 안녕. 한국 사람이세요? It's interesting. My app translated it in English, but I can read Korean, so on the YouTube screen it was in Korean. Okay, let me go to the next one. But yeah, I hope that was helpful for you, Hyperdub. I'm gonna go on to the next one, which is from Bobo, and it's a monk. Kind of that was Korean, yeah. We're reducing the radius too, yeah, maybe making it like 30 feet. Let's open this up. Okay. We got the Trigram Monk, which is a pretty good one. Bacon Commander. Oh, is that yours? Let me read what you said. So, oh, you're not Korean, but lived there for a while, miss it as well. Hope you enjoy your time back there. Yeah, love that you are doing these streams. We'll try to submit something next time. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm moving back probably in October or November. Very stoked. Korea is a fun place to live in. And just here for more support. Sweet. So Bobo, it's mostly just for fun, but selling it on DM's Guild does interest me. Okay, so what's interesting about DM's Guild, if you guys don't know, unlike just like using the SRD license, DM's Guild license basically lets you use any D&D content. But when you post it on DM's Guild, it is no longer fully your product anymore, and you aren't allowed to post it anywhere else. But you're basically able to use anything in the game. You're not limited to the SRD. True, Kevin. You're right. And what are they particularly looking to get advice from? Technical writing. Okay, this is where, Kevin, we're going to be getting deep into the writing. They're curious about the technical writing. It's an older homebrew I made. Balance, the numbers are funky. The flavor is based on the setting this homebrew is based on, so it's kind of hard to judge. The trigram thing mostly stays. I would be open to removing or adding other features, though, depending on the reasoning. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get deep into the technical writing on this one. Okay, let me see. Okay. So trigram monks use black crystals that represent the order of nature. Okay, that's cool. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna move the cat cam so you guys can actually see the cat. Well, it is a long one, but I'm ready for it. My freaking stand keeps turning. Okay. There we go. There's my cat. The origin of these black crystals vary between worlds. Determine the origin of these crystals that you obtained. So you got some cool flavor text stuff, a symbiote that infused into you, giving you your powers, a technological miracle created by your organization, an ancient discovery granted to you by your guild, simply part of your martial arts training, and is the product of your talents. Just a weapon granted to you that reforms based on your key. Your race or species grants you these crystals as an inherent ability. One fun thing that we can do is on D&D Beyond, on Homebrew Curry, I'll be able to show you how to do this eventually. But like, for example, in the villainous options UA, they have these tables right here. And it seems like you're kind of trying to do one of these. And this is pretty easy to make in Homebrew Curry. So yeah, I can see that's what you're going for. Maybe in Word document form, consider going based off of this kind of format and maybe make it a D6 roll. Obviously, I feel like they know that they can choose, but this gives you a way to make it a fun little mechanic thing if people want to guess. That's always my biggest worry, writing up some content. It always ends up so long, and then you end up taking out all the flavor stuff that made it feel cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. First point that Kevin made in 5.5E, it is now focus points. It's no longer key, and focus points is capitalized. Despite their simplicity in their fighting style, at first glance they accomplish tasks with ease and are renowned for their roles as peacekeepers and scholars throughout the many universes. Becoming a trigram monk, or warrior of order takes some of the most dedication and discipline out of all monks. What separates them from normal monks is that they run themselves like a professional business. They tend to stick to agencies and guilds instead of meditating in the woods. To them, good work and repetitive tasks are all the way to enlightenment. They reject escapism and focus on embracing the inevitable cycle of life. They often do jobs beneath them, like office work or guarding transport, because they believe it will benefit the world as a whole with their good karma. Trigram monks tend to be rigid or even deceitful with their way of thinking and communicating, which might rub some the wrong way. Awesome. Okay. Here we got... Oh, okay. So we're using focus points here. That's good. I would just I kind of see what's happening here. I feel like they're using key more as just a lore thing. Not the monk mechanic. So that makes sense. Oh yeah, maybe say chi since it's more of a lore thing. And yeah, I agree with Kevin here. I think it would be cool if the beginning of the subclass was a lot shorter, more similar to official classes. And then maybe at the bottom, there's like a deeper lore bit. For example, especially in the player's handbook, I will say the player's handbook is a little special because they're trying to fit everything in. But like, you look at the monk subclasses. This is Warrior Mercy. It's 1, 2, 3 sentences. Warrior of Shadow. 1, 2, 2. Again, these are kind of long sentences, but it's like 2 sentences. Yeah, so just something to consider. You do you though. I would say that you definitely can go longer than the player's handbook descriptions. And I do like this use of this table. I think this is fun. Basically one paragraph, yeah. Alternate name, Way of the Order or Warrior of Order. Yeah, if we're going 5.5E, Warrior of Order Monk would be the way to go, I would say. Okay, 4 trigrams. You gain the following trigrams at the start of your turn. You can pick an available trigram and activate its effect. Okay. That's cool. This mechanic is known as a trigram cycle, and it ends after all 4 trigrams have been picked. Huh. So you can use these once. I'll read the effects after I understand the ability. You cannot use the same trigram more than once during a trigram cycle. You cannot go through more than one trigram cycle until after you finish a short or long rest or when you roll initiative. Okay. So you get these 4 abilities and you can use once. You can use each one once per short or long rest. Okay, so we have Gion, Gon, Gam, and Re. Gion, until the start of your next turn, your first monk weapon attack or unarmed strike gains a bonus on its attack and damage roll equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die. Nice. That's similar to Channel Divinity of the warrior domain of the war domain cleric in power level, I would say. It eventually gets to that level. Then we have Gone. The next attack against you has a penalty to hit you equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die until the start of your next turn. Next attack against you has a penalty to hit you equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die until the start of your next turn. I would add, I would look at shield here. Wait. And what's the action used for these? Let me read that again. So at the start of your turn. So this just happens no resource cost, which I think is fine. Yeah, I agree with Kevin. No mechanic verbiage. It should just explain how it works. It should just explain the ability and leave it at that. Oh. I clicked on shield the item rather than shield the spell. There it is. Ooh. I would say, like, until the start of your next turn, you have a bonus to AC equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die. You gain the following trigrams. Should be the end. Yeah. I also think it's interesting that instead of getting to choose between them, you just get to use each one once. I think that's fine. It's just not as common, but I like that creativity of it. It makes it, I almost feel like it makes it so that they can be more powerful, or even like it's okay if there's some power imbalances between them, because you don't have to choose between them. They're just abilities that you can use once. I actually like that a lot. At the start of your turn, no action required. Yeah, no action required in parentheses should be here. I agree with that. Question, should I... Maybe that's a lot. Should I write down somewhere these edits? I hope they watch the stream and that's enough for them, but I might do that for the next stream. I'll plan it out better. This is the first one we're doing, by the way. So you gain the following. Yeah. So at the start of your turn, no action required. You can pick an available trigram and activate its effect. I would say something like, let's go to Battle Master Fighter. You learn maneuvers. Trying to figure out what's best to see each maneuver. I would say I would just be like, you gain these maneuvers, and then maybe explain when you make a blah 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 blah. What you could do is you could just have each trigram say at the start of your turn, no action required, and then the benefit. It's a read-only one. So like it could say you gain the following trigrams. It could say 4 trigrams, you gain the following trigrams. You cannot use the same trigram more than once during a trigram cycle. You cannot go through more than one trigram cycle after a short or long rest. Yeah, I also wouldn't explain the trigram cycle. That's like lore stuff. I would just say like you gain the following trigrams. You can use each trigram once. Until you finish a short or long rest, or when you roll initiative. Like I feel like that would cut away a lot of the verbiage that isn't necessary. And then for each one, you can add at the start of your turn, no action required. Until the start of your next turn, your first monk weapon attack or an armed strike gains a bonus to its attack and damage rolls equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die. And then so on and so forth. My bots are fighting in the chat. You did mention Battlemaster though. Oh yeah, the Furbolg. Does Furbolg race have something like this? Furbolg race or Fey Touch feat? I'll go to Fey Touch just because that's Oh, is it? I think I know what you're talking about. Is it because you get access to spells? I'll go to the Furbolg too. Choose one level. You can cast each of these spells without expending. Yeah. You can cast each of these spells. Once you cast either spell in this way, you can't cast it. Yeah. Take this verbiage and like you can use each Oh yeah, just once you use a trigram in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a longer. Yeah, like do a shorter longer. Like do something like that. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. I think these are balanced though. I haven't read the fourth one though. You gain 1 expended focus point. That's fine. You move up to half your movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Balance wise, these are great. Original Furbolg and Volo's guide said once you cast either spell, you can't cast it again until this with this trait until you finish a short or long rest. Yeah, that sort of verbiage would fit great here. Let's go look at the next level 3 ability. Brace Up. Your efficiency in work allows you to hone your information gathering skills through repetition. You gain proficiency in 2 of the following skills: investigation, history, religion, nature, or arcana. Nice. Whenever you make an intelligence skill check, or you have, Whenever you make an intelligence skill check, and you can add your wisdom modifier to the roll. I think there was a typo here. Whenever you make an intelligence skill check, you have, like, out of the intelligence skills, the ones that you're proficient in, that's what it's trying to say. You can add your wisdom modifier to the roll, minimum of +1. Would say feature for the subclass. Yeah, I would say whenever you make an intelligence ability check and you are proficient in the skill, you can add your wisdom modifier to the roll. Minimum of +1. I also would write minimum of +1, not min +1, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. You have to have the whole word minimum of +1. Exactly. And I think this level 3 is perfectly balanced. It's fine. I like it. Especially because these are short rest or long rest or when you roll initiative, and none of them have a resource cost. They just happen. I love that. I think that's cool. Okay, level 6 is reinforced weapon. When holding a monk weapon, you can conjure crystals around it by spending a minute focusing. Yeah, for wording, I would use similar wording to there's some, you know what? I might just go to one of my own things. I have a subclass where to make a charisma check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum +1. Big Wonder has similar verbiage. Oh yeah. But you can make it intelligence check. So I made this monk. This is a playtest monk. Where is it? Where'd it go? Huh? Oh, was it before I released that? Yeah, so this monk that I made, I have when you cast a spell's ritual, it takes 1 minute longer than normal casting. Okay. Or maybe I didn't have it. Never mind. Never mind. I was mistaken. I changed the ritual casting time. I didn't make it a minute. But yeah, you can look at things that cost a minute, that take a minute. When holding a monk weapon, you can conjure crystals around it by spending a minute focusing. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. Kevin can help me out with that one, if you don't mind. You gain the weapon mastery of the weapon, even if you normally couldn't. Ooh, yeah. So you want to change that as well. That one, you can just give them a weapon mastery. Just go to fighter. Just use the verbiage. Because it does the same thing. But it said like whenever you use this ability, you can you gain the ability to use master properties of more kinds of weapons as shown in the weapon mastery column. Oh man, maybe, huh? Actually, this wording wouldn't work. Huh? I need to figure that out because I have a monk that allows you to use weapon masteries. My shield monk. If we look at my shield monk right here. Oh my god, come on. Okay, we'll just do this. If we look at my shield monk right here. We have you gain the protection fighting style feat or one of the following mastery properties: push, sap, or slow. Your shield gains this mastery property when you attack with it, or you gain the protection fighting style feat instead if you choose that option. So yeah, I would say like you gain you gain the mastery property associated with the weapon. Probably. Oh yeah, you have a great time too, Bacon Commander. Thank you for chilling. Oh really? That's awesome that you've been playing it in a campaign. I would love to hear about it if you don't mind. Anything cool that you did? Yeah, the 5e Warlock had it. You can spend 1 minute in treating your patron for aid to regain all expended spell slots. Oh yeah. Yeah, just simplify the wording. Actually, Warlock is a perfect example because they now have their rights, their esoteric rights ability. I thought it was a very low level ability. Magical Cunning. You can form an esoteric rite for 1 minute. At the end of it, you gain these benefits. Boom, just do that. Like you can spend 1 minute conjuring crystals around your monk weapon. At the end of it, you gain you gain the weapon mastery associated with the weapon, and even if you normally wouldn't, that text is not necessary. A lot of the wording stuff, for subclasses for like all this design is, you don't need to say what it isn't, you need to say what it is. If that makes sense. While these crystals remain, the weapon is unable to be destroyed unless you are dead or unconscious. The weapon cannot be disarmed or removed from you. Yeah, again, fighter. I would go Eldritch Knight Fighter. Eldritch Knight Fighter. Basically so I would go magic weapon rules. Look at the magic weapon rules where it talks about how magic weapons can't be destroyed. Just make it a magical weapon. Boom. That fixes the problem. It becomes a magical weapon. Magical weapons can't be destroyed. But if you go to the Eldritch Knight weapon bond, this is a lot of homebrewing, by the way, is looking at official abilities that have a similar thing. War bond. Once you've bonded a weapon to yourself, you can't be disarmed of that weapon unless you have the incapacitated condition. Honestly, you should look at War Bond for most of this ability, because it has a ritual where you have to concentrate on a weapon. Take this text and add your abilities to it. Use War Bond as a sort of canvas for this ability. I'm pretty sure magic weapons can be destroyed, just not by disintegrate. Yeah, template. Yeah, couldn't think of the word. I think in the player's handbook, there's a rule, or maybe it's in the DM's Guild. Dungeon Master's Guide. Isn't there like a rule on magic weapons not being able to be destroyed? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, magic. I meant to say magic weapon. Huh. Yeah, use it as a base. I guess where would that be? Equipment? I guess it would be in the magic item section. Ooh. Attunement, ending, wearing and wielding items, creating, crafting. Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken. Resilience. That might be in the DMG though. Can't share links. Is it in the DMG or is it in the under magic items? Oh, so it is in the player's handbook? I got this. I'm going to do... Yeah, I'll go back to where I was. And then magic items. Magic item resilience. Magic. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do the SRD. That's an easier way to find it. Oh yeah, it's right here. 206. A magic item is at least as durable as a non-magical item of its kind. Most magic items, other than potions and scrolls, have resistance to all damage. An artifact can't be destroyed only in some special way. Otherwise, it is impervious to damage. Learning how to destroy an artifact usually requires research or the completion of a quest. And if you don't want to make it a magic item, just use this text because, you know, like maybe you want it to be able to work with things that require non-magical items. They should also probably have immunity to poison, psychic, being objects. Oh yeah, well they have immunity to all damage. Oh, resistance to all damage. I see what you're saying. They should probably have immunity too. It just says they have resistance to damage. That's weird. Wait, so people can destroy magic items with just hitting it? That's insane. Only if it's an artifact? Dude, I just learned something new about D&D. This is why we do this, guys. I could break my players' magic items. Anyway. So yeah, maybe this is fine. Maybe just say immunity to damage. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. So far though, yeah, I think we're figuring it out. But yeah, basically look at Warbond on the fighter and look at some of the other stuff we mentioned. Let's go to level 6 though. This is just level 3. Trigram flow. An order of trigram combinations creates a unique action you can perform. See the combo list below. Okay, combo list. Combos. The order takes place according to the order in which you select a trigram. You can declare one combo at the start of your turn after declaring trigrams if the current order of the trigrams a match. Once you declare the combo, you can perform the combo as a magic action for 1 minute. What? Okay, so this is a alternative way to use the trigrams. You perform the combo and it takes a whole minute to perform. Huh. Okay. This is really cool, but very complicated. And these are all out of combat abilities, though. Yeah. I agree. Spending focus points doesn't need to be its own sentence. It can just be like the order takes place according to the I would say something like you can expend trigrams. You can expend two trigrams. You can perform a combo by spending two trigrams as a magic action for 1 minute. As a magic action for 1 minute. If it's a magic action, it's not 1 minute. Am I wrong? When you cast spells that have more than one action time, I don't think that's the magic action. It's just you casting a spell, right? Well, let's see what these are, though. You attempt to protect yourself with a crystal barrier. You gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier plus your monk level until the start of your next turn. Wait, until the start of your next turn? But these take a minute. Oh, I see what's happening. You use your magic action, and then these last for a minute. Huh? That complexity will require a player who is on point at all times. Try to avoid it in my designs. I have the complexity at the start, and then it doesn't impact the whole class all the time. Yeah, I think for 1 minute you gain access to the magic action from the combo. Put the class in a party of level 70 characters. Yeah, I think that this could be simplified. I honestly think this is what you should do. Um, wait. Once you clear a combo, you can perform the combo as a magic action for 1 minute. So, okay, so you activate these trigrams, and then for the next minute, you can use a magic action to use these. And it doesn't require more uses of the trigrams, is what I'm getting at, is what I think it is. I think, and this is level 6? No, wait. Yeah, it's level 6. I think these should just be magic actions that you can use, because this is getting these are a little too powerful, I think, to be able to just use for a whole minute for every action. Because getting temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier plus your monk level, that's like deflect attacks. That's the same as deflect attacks, and except instead of dex mod, it's wiz mod. But it only lasts till the start of your next turn, so maybe that's fine. And it does require your full action, so maybe that is fine actually. Okay. Huh. Gone. You channel a large kick infused with your crystals. You attack a creature with 20 feet with an unarmed strike, ignoring the normal damage. Upon hitting, it deals additional force damage equal to 3 times your martial arts die. It also pushes the creature 10 feet in any direction you choose when it hits. Okay. Oh. Wait, so this is... Oh. You know what I would do? I think this definitely needs simplified. I'm going to look at the combos for what they are, and then we'll talk about how to simplify it later. So your thing is to make it so that anyone can... Yeah. To almost be like Battlemaster and be their own thing. Yeah, so I love the creativity here, and I think this is really cool thematically. But I think these should just cost trigrams. Like, hey, you get all these abilities and they cost trigrams. And you can pick what trigrams they cost. Because having to micromanage the specific trigrams you're using and all that stuff, I feel like that's a bit too complicated for a player to keep track of. It's basically like adding a whole new spell system on top of a subclass, you know? So yeah, let's just look at the power level of the abilities and go from there. So we already talked about the crystal protection. It's probably fine. You channel a large kick infused with your crystals. You attack a creature within 20 feet with an unarmed strike, ignoring the normal range. I see. So you have an extended range. Upon hitting, it deals additional force damage equal to 3 times your martial arts die. That is pretty powerful, but it is your full action to use it. And it costs a resource. It also pushes the creature 10 feet in any direction you choose when it hits. Okay, if you think about it, this is essentially... Okay, so normally at this level, you get 2 attacks, which would add 2 times your martial arts die. Instead, you're getting 3 times your martial arts die. Wait. No, you get 4 times your martial arts die. So it basically... 4 times your martial arts die. So it's doubling your damage, but you don't get to add your dex. So it's... I feel like this is kind of a wash. Maybe have it be 2 times your martial arts die. Do you guys think it's too much damage? Especially because you can do it every turn. Ah, yeah. Let's read Shattered Glass. You fire Shattered Glass out of your hand. You cast Magic Missile without consuming a spell slot. That's fine. The amount of missiles fired is changed to equal half your monk level. You use your wisdom modifier as the spellcasting modifier. I think that's fine. Warp Stone, you move well, but every turn for a minute, that's pretty strong. Because it could be a level 20 that's 10 missiles. Oh, that's kind of powerful. Warp Stone, you move extremely fast in order to throw creatures off. You teleport up to 30 feet to any unoccupied location you can see. I would just say you teleport. Just use Misty Step language. You don't need to make your own thing. It's just Misty Step. Yeah, for one focus point, yeah. It is also using your subclass resource, but that's a little too powerful. You attempt to throw a creature in reach. You force a strength saving throw, 8 plus dexterity modifier plus proficiency bonus on the creature. If they fail, you pick them up. You then can throw them to a different creature within 30 feet of you or a point within 30 feet of you. If you targeted another creature, both take bludgeoning damage equal to thrice your martial arts. I would do 3 times, even though thrice is a correct word. They always do 2 times, 3 times. Your martial arts die plus your dexterity modifier. If you targeted a point instead, the creature takes the same damage as above, but also This is really complicated. I would simplify this. I would just make it a simple, like a more simple effect. Wonder if we'll ever see an updated Sun Soul or Long Death. Oh yeah, that would be cool. I like that, but I'm guessing that I think we might. Yeah, I could see just like you get to use the telekinesis spell. I feel like that would be much simpler. But like, yeah, you'd use telekinesis, but it ends at the start of your next turn. Yeah, that one's just a little too much, in my opinion. You create a sweeping strike with your hand. It creates a 20-foot cone in front of you. Each creature makes a dexterity saving throw. Upon failing, they take force damage equal to 4 times your martial arts die and fall prone. They take half on success and don't. You need to put, if they succeed, they take half damage and don't fall prone. Ooh. 4 times your martial arts die. Yeah, that's a little too strong, especially if you can do this every round for a minute. Crackdown. Yeah, it's a bit too much going on. Crackdown. You target a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Crystal shards dig deep into the creature as they attempt to immobilize the creature. You force a Constitution saving throw. If the creature fails, they become paralyzed by the crystals for a minute. They must repeat the save at the end of the turn to end the condition early. Ooh. Yeah, so this is basically just hold person. I guess it's hold monster though. Yeah, I would. Yeah, this is a 5th level spell. At level 6. That's a little too strong. Especially if you can use it every turn for a minute. If you limit it to humanoids, or maybe limit it to a size of creature, like medium, that could work. And then Quartz Pulse, you deliver a shockwave around 20 feet of you. All creatures you choose within the radius must make a strength saving throw. If they fail, they take force damage equal to twice your monk level and get pushed 10 feet away from you. If they succeed, they take half as much damage and stay put. Okay. I would use emanation verbiage here. An emanation around you in a 20-foot radius. All creatures you choose within creatures of your choice within the emanation must make a strength saving throw. If they fail, they take force damage equal to 2 times your monk level and get pushed 10 feet away from you. If they succeed, they take half damage and are not pushed. Maybe the paralyzed could just land for 1 round. Yeah, I could see Crackdown scaling and it be hold person now and hold person during capstone. Yeah, so I would say for a lot of these, if you want to keep their power level, I would recommend having these just cost what they cost for the magic action. Like you use your magic action and this happens once, not every round for a minute. I think that's a little too strong personally. And then simplify it. This trigram theme is super cool and interesting, but it's a lot to take in for a player. A lot to take in. It would be much easier if you could just consume trigrams and a focus point and do these abilities. Ugh. Yeah, use Thunderwave verbiage or just cast a spell. Yeah. But that's level 6. And now but that's like one of the main that's the meat of the class, you know. Level 11 confrontations, you can perform 2 trigram cycles instead of 1 before needing to take a short rest or long rest or roll initiative. I would say you get 1 more use of each of them. In addition, you can choose 2 trigrams at the start of your turn instead of 1. Choose the order in which the trigrams are chosen. So yeah, that's fine. I would say, in addition, you can choose 2 trigrams at the start of your turn instead of 1. No action required. The order, I don't think you need to specify that. You could always do that. I feel like, yeah. Level 17, as part of your order, you learn to assert your dominance in order to keep the peace. Peacekeeper, you can perform 2 combos as part of the same magic action. It costs 3 focus points to do so instead of 1 each. Whew. Huh. But you have to spend the minute per combo, right? Or no. Am I misunderstanding? Is it just you need to spend a minute and you can use any of these combos? I thought it was you get to spend a minute once you declare the combo. So you declare the combo and you can perform the combo as a magic action for 1 minute. Once you can declare 1 combo at the start of your turn. Okay, no. So you can use any combo. Oh, wow. So this is even more powerful than I initially thought. So you can use any combo of your choice for that minute. Okay. So you can just declare. I think you declare the combo. Yeah, you declare the combo freely. It seems like when you use it, which makes sense. It makes it a little less complicated. But basically, you get to use 2 combos now. Also as per you forward 2 combos as part of the same magic action. It costs 3 focus points to do so instead of one each. Choose one of the below options upon obtaining this feature. You can swap out your current one during a long rest. Okay. Oh, just two. We got two here. Hannah for all, order of all. When you use a trigram, you can give an ally you see within 60 feet the effects of the trigram. It only activates once their turn starts. Gam gives heroic inspiration to allies with instead of a focus point. Wait, gives? Oh, Gam is the one that gives you a focus point. Gion doesn't limit to unarmed strikes or monk weapons for allies. Have it just say it gives them an extra attack or whatever. No, you can not mandatory give up to two different allies, each different trigrams on the same turn. Huh. Yeah, I feel like that's what it means. You just get to use two. At the start of your turn, you can select one damage type, except force. You gain resistance to the chosen type at the start of your next turn. Okay, that's simple. Yeah, I feel like this subclass has really great potential. I would just look at the abilities we've shared with you to find ways to word things more simply. And I love your the thematics of your combo system, but little too complicated. And level 17 might be a little too powerful, and I feel like a lot of the combos are a little too strong as well. But I love the thematics. Super cool thematics. So consider that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, though. We got Uprising. This is just for a home game. I'm looking for. Let's see what it is first. This is a class one. I am willing to do classes, but I think I just did a long one. I want to do a shorter one next. So we're gonna go to Jalentine, Artificer subclass. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This seems pretty cool. We got the Botanist Artificer. This is Jalentines. It's just for a home game. Balancing within 2024. Whether or not this works as an artificer, ways to make it feel more cohesive. Okay. So we have a botanist artificer. Seems pretty cool. Ooh. A little long. Ooh. Okay, but I get what's going on. You got a little stat block. That's cool. I'm not sure. It's they put their name on here. I let people use any name they want. And it's J A I L A N T E A N. Okay. Level 3, Botanist Artificer. The Botanist is an artificer who delights in the mastery over nature. They use their knowledge to push plants into ever more fantastical forms and colors. They see how plants are the perfect vehicle for engineering and design. Okay, cool. I like that. This reminds me kind of Usopp in One Piece. After the time skip. Level 3, Forger's Know-How. You gain proficiency with medicine and nature. If you already have proficiency in either skill, you gain proficiency in another skill of your choice from the Artificer skill list. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Matt Damon's character in the Martian movie. Nose Coon, yes. Botanist spells. Okay, you always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the botanist spells table. These spells count as artificial spells for you. Oh, also, uh, this is just for a home game, but just for your knowledge, uh, artificers are not in the SRD, so you could only post them on DM's Guild or for a home game if you're curious. Um, Spell list: Entangle, Hail of Thorns, Spike Growth, Wither and Bloom, Hypnotic Pattern, Plant Growth, Guardian of Nature, Conjure Minor Elementals, Awaken, and Wrath of Nature. Huh. So I like that they have Hypnotic Pattern on here at 3rd level because it might be a good spell for replicate magic item. But let me look real quick at the Druid spell list, because I feel like there might be potentially better 3rd level spells to have that are more thematic. Let's go with spell level 3. Because replicate magic item spells are really important for the artificer. Ooh, conjure animals could be cool. But I feel like for a replicate magic item, it's better to have non-concentration ones. Can Oh wait. Let me reread replicate magic item, because I know that it's not just a 3rd level spell. It has to be a specific 3rd level spell. I spelled artificer wrong. Yeah, conjure animals wouldn't really feel like a botanist. Oh, you know what? In my head, I was just thinking druid. Replicate magic. No. I'm saying replicate magic item. I meant to say, yeah, spell storing item. Uh, has a casting time of an action and doesn't require a material component that's consumed. So it just has to be an action spell. Yeah, let me see. Erupting Earth, Feign Death, Plant Growth. They already have that one. Speak with Plants? No. Summon Fae. Daylight, yeah, Daylight is cool thematically. I think I understand why they went with Hypnotic Pattern now that I look at it. Because none of these are really that good to have on spell storing item. So maybe that is the way to go. Ooh. Salune's Viper? It could be like a snake going through the plants. I don't know. That would be kind of a cool one. See, Speak with Plants is appropriate thematically, but the reason why we are considering level 3 is for artificers. Their level 3 spell is very important because they can use replicate. They can use spell storing item for level 3 spells, and it should be a pretty useful spell. Plants use a hypnotic pattern to draw insects into them. That is true. And so maybe it's fine the way it is. Yeah, maybe it's fine. And, you can downcast spell storing item. Wither and Bloom might honestly be a pretty good choice on there. But let's go ahead and see the next effect. I think all the other spells are great and thematic. Conjure Minor Elementals is kind of odd there, but there's probably a reason for that. There's probably just not. It's a good spell, and there's probably also just not. Actually, let me look real quick. Conjure Minor Elementals is a very powerful spell. Ooh, Grasping Vine. Actually, yeah, that's a 4th level spell. Honestly, yeah, they should probably have Grasping Vine instead of Conjure Minor Elementals. I feel like the reason for it might be because they picked Guardian of Nature. And Guardian of Nature is also a bonus action concentration spell. And they didn't want two bonus action concentration spells potentially. Honestly, Font of Moonlight might be a more thematic spell that has a similar effect instead of Conjure Minor Elementals, because Font of Moonlight is radiant damage, and you could reflavor it as sunlight. Thornwhip added as a cantrip, yeah, that would be good. Oh, it is on the base class list, but it would be kind of fun to have it for free. Hallucinatory terrain, yeah. Blight, yeah, Blight is thematic, but well, I feel like Blight is more thematic for because Blight is destroying plants, and this is a person that likes plants. But yeah, either way, this is a pretty solid list. Let's look at this seed dice mechanic. It seems to be important. Your pocket garden grants you a pool of seed dice, which fuel your botanical summons. You regain all expended seed dice when you finish a long rest, and regain one expended seed dice whenever you finish a short rest. Very good on the wording here, by the way. You seem to have the proper way to word things down pretty well. And we got this table, explains the die size goes up at certain levels and the number of dice go up at certain levels. Oh yeah, you have features that do similar thing to Grasping Vines. I didn't want to overlap. Font of Moonlight is a good shout out there. Oh yeah. That makes sense. By the way, welcome to the stream. Oh, this is mine. I picked a pattern for the I just saw your message. Your first message. Bind a save DC. Some of the features require saving throws. Oh yeah. You can just for spellcasters, you can just say it uses your spell save DC. By the way, is this part of? I would put this in a mechanic, like in because right now seed dice is just kind of a thing that's being explained, but it's not under an ability. I would put like level 3 seed dice. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Botanical summons. You learn the following botanical summons at level 3, unless otherwise stated. Summoning a plant requires a bonus action. A plant disappears after 10 minutes. You can dismiss a plant at any time. No action required. Some plants are considered magical. Oh no, we were just calling out different. No. Level 3 is just the subclass, so it would technically be only 3. Oh yeah, no worries. For this, I would maybe again, this is just for a home game. So the stakes are a bit lower. Most abilities are they just read it all out. And this is technically a quicker way to just have like, hey, you're establishing these are always how things work unless stated otherwise. So I understand why you wrote it this way. And because it's a home game, you can probably just keep it this way. But typically, people they just write out everything for every ability. You can only have one instance of each plant active at a time. Plants So we have the Life Flower, Thorn Launcher, Grass Blades, and Steel Bark. You expend 1 seed die to create a cluster of small medicinal flowers. Roll the seed die. Number of flowers equal to the number roll appear in your hand. Creature can consume 1 flower as a bonus action to gain temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your artificer level. The flowers wither after 1 hour. Okay, cool. I feel like you could go to like, I would recommend going to the alchemist. Like, here's the alchemist here. Just take all of this info, experimental elixir, and word this plant stuff more like this. You don't have to, you can keep the mechanics the same as you have them, and then make a table. And I see you made tables before, or like something similar to a table. Is that like lower down? I remember seeing a table. Maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah. So you got tables here. I would make a table and just have like Life Flower and then talk about it. Thorn Launcher, talk about it, I get they are kind of long though compared to the elixirs. So I get why you, but like, yeah, if you look here though, these are pretty long too. Huh. Yeah, I feel like that would probably be the best way to do it. It's just easier to understand something when it's made into a more simple thing. Let me see though. You spend 1 seed. Yeah. So, ooh. But this feels kind of like the alchemist though. Just a little bit more going on. Roll the seed die and number of flowers equal to the number rolled. Okay, so yeah, so you roll the seed die. Creatures can consume it, and they get temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your artificer level. So that means that average at level 3, an average of 3 creatures can get those temporary hit points with Life Flower. I think this might be a little too strong. I might tone it down a bit. How about this? This is just an idea. Maybe have it be they gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the die plus your either half your artificer level or your intelligence mod. Because you get 4 of these dice, but they go up pretty high. You get 14 by level 17, and they're pretty high dice. So that could be some crazy temp HP giving out. Even if it only lasts an hour. But that's just that one. Let's see, Thorn Launcher. You expend 1 seed die to summon a living seed cannon that attaches to your arm. Love it. That's cool. The cannon counts as a simple ranged weapon with which you are proficient. It has a range of 60 to 120 feet. Nice. On a hit, the target takes piercing damage equals to 1 roll of your seed die plus your intelligence modifier. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with this weapon, sharp seed fragments burst outward. Creatures of your choice within 15 feet of the target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Take piercing damage equal to 1 roll of your seed die plus your intelligence modifier. Okay, so you get this item in your hand and you can shoot with it. Does it use your action? Yeah. 2 feet of the target. Okay, so you shoot someone with it. They take an amount of damage equal to your seed die plus your intelligence mod. And then once it hits, you can then do an AoE, 15 feet, dex save, or they get one roll of your seed die plus your intelligence mod. I feel like Kevin does make a good point. I would look at the artillerist and see what kind of, because it's okay to have like stuff from multiple subclasses, like similar to multiple subclasses in one, but try to make it either a weaker version or at least equivalent. So like Eldritch Cannon here, the flamethrower can do 2d8 in a 15-foot cone, fire damage, and it doesn't add any mod or anything. And the damage doesn't really scale up much. So maybe make sure it isn't too more powerful than these, because basically what you got going is it's the Force Ballista combined with the flamethrower, and it eventually does more damage, you know? So consider that. And then, but there is one thing though. This does require your action, whereas the artillerist one, it's a bonus action. So maybe it isn't too bad. Maybe that isn't too strong because it does use your full action. So that's something to consider. Yeah, maybe that is fine. And since the seed die scales, this keeps it relevant in the late game for full action. Yeah, I think as long as they don't get extra attack at any point, I think that might be fine. It's being, now that I realize that it requires your full action, I am way less concerned about it. I'm just double checking. Well, let me think though. How? And it takes a seed die to summon it. Okay. And how long does it last? Is it just like summoning a plant requires a bonus? Is a bonus action to summon, and it lasts for 10 minutes. Okay. So you can't just have it out. So it would require bonus action and full action. Yeah, honestly, I think this is fine. Now that I understand it better. Okay. Well, let's look at Grass Blade. You can spend one seed die to grow a reinforced blade of sharpened grass. The blade counts as a simple melee weapon with finesse, light, and thrown properties. Cool. Deals slashing damage equal to one roll of your seed die. Okay, cool. You can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dexterity for attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. Yeah, that seems fair. You just get a weapon, and I don't think you have extra attack. Like people can multi-class, but okay, this is something to think about. This is mostly just for multi-classing concerns. Maybe add the loading property to Thorn Launcher. If you add the loading property to Thorn Launcher, then you don't have to worry about a multi-class build being able to... Maybe it's fine actually though, because the AoE is once per turn already. Ugh. Oh yeah, one of my favorite Pokemon is Scyther. Yeah. As you read the Grass Blade, I started to think about it. Yeah. Honestly, uh, you're doing like this is really good. I'm just trying to be as critical as I can, you know. Um, this is definitely super solid so far. Let's see, steel bark. You expend 1 seed die to grow crystalline bark around your body. Cool, cool, cool. While you're not wearing armor, your armor class equals 10 plus dex plus int. Okay. So you basically get like unarmored defense. In addition, when a creature within 5 feet of you hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to deal piercing damage equal to 1 roll of your seed die to that creature. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier per long rest. Okay. So you get unarmored defense type thing. And then you can use... I like that I am not the only one who writes using standard UK English. Oh, yeah. As an American, I'm annoying. I'm ignoring them. It's fine. It's correct over there. Uh, huh. This is totally balanced. I think this is fine. Now that I see them all for what they are, I don't think this is broken or anything. But I would potentially write it to be a little more simple. And you can only have 1 instance of each plant active at a time. That is very important. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if this was just a paragraph, I would understand it better. But that's also because I'm very used to reading the official rules. I'm an Englishman. What can I say? Yes. Yeah, I'm a red-blooded American, so we don't put you. We get rid of those U's. But it's called English for a reason. It's from England, you know. So I'm starting to see kind of what this is more now. It seems to be somewhat of a martial like artificer, which, you know, a lot of them are anyway, but in a very unique way. I like it. So we have Petal Rain, level 5. You have studied some of the druidic knowledge from the great garden to which all pocket gardens are connected. As an action, you bring forth the petals of the world tree. Petals fall around you in a 20-foot emanation, making the area slightly obscured. Okay. That's cool. When a hostile creature enters the emanation, it must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failure, the creature is blinded for 1 minute. Target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. This is like some of the most minor things. Again, this is for homebrew, so it doesn't really matter. But in official rules, there's especially in 2024, there's a lot of words that are specifically capitalized to show you that it's referenced in the book. So like blinding smite here, blinded is capitalized here because it's a rule. Stuff so like let me just point out, as an action is a lot of the times capitalized, not always though. I think it would be capitalized here. Emanations capitalized, lightly obscured is capitalized. Emanation, blinded. Yeah, so just like stuff like that. It's not super important though, because it's just homebrew. Target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. Allies who are within the emanation can add your intelligence modifier to their wisdom saving throws. Okay. How long does it last, though? You might have forgotten to put a duration here. For how long the petal rain lasts. If it's just lasts like a minute, that'd be fine though. Oh yeah, have the blinded condition. Yeah, Kevin's right. Yeah, I just put a duration on this, and then that's a super solid ability. Especially because level 5. Oh yeah, how often can you use this too? Because how it's written right now, it has no duration, and you can just use it endlessly. And I know that you didn't plan it to be that way, but allies who are within the animation can add your intelligence modifier to those. This is pretty strong, I have to say, but it's basically Paladin Aura, but it's only Wisdom saves, and it's supposedly limited use. So yeah, I think that's fine. Oh yeah, no, you're good. Okay, Pocket Garden Gate. Garden Shed. As you grow more familiar with your pocket garden, you can now set aside a small section for an extra dimensional space. The space is 20 by 20 feet and is lined with shelves. There's a simple chair and table at one end with a small log burner. This place has breathable air and it can hold up to 6 sentient creatures within, but no more than 4 non-plant creatures. Non-plant creatures are forcibly expelled after a number of hours equal to 1 seed die roll, I think. As an action, you can target yourself and any willing creature within 10 feet of you to pull into your garden shed. You have become more confident using the plants in your pocket garden. As a result, your plant section has expanded, so you get some more plants. Garden shed though. I need to think about this one. Okay, so I see what's going on. So basically, this is like a okay, I get it now. This is kind of like a bag of holding, or a what's it called? Like magnificent mansion or one of those things. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I think Kevin is, I think, right here. You can add adjustments to it, but like Mort Canyon's magnificent mansion. Like you could say like you cast magnificent mansion and then you could add adjustments to it, but it's like this. Oh yeah, or like the genie warlock object. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when you cast the spell in this way, and then blah 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 blah. Add anything else. That'll just make it simpler and easier to understand. And it's level 9. You get 4 more options. Okay. It's based on the genie warlock lamp. I see. Oh, the mansion is probably a lot stronger. Well, isn't there private sanctum? And I guess this is more if you're trying to do 2024 rules. Because 2024 rules. Yeah, I feel like Mordecai's private sanctum could work. Ooh. It's a 4th level spell. And you could say like it takes an action instead of 10 minutes, like, you know, something like that. Just some ideas. It's honestly not too much of a worry, but yeah. Additional plants, you can spend 2 of your seed dice to summon this plant. When summoned, this plant will be dormant as a seed. You can drop the seed in a place within 30 feet that you can see. There is it doesn't have the bag of holding property. Yeah, maybe it's fine the way it is. There is also, I think you're thinking of someone who asked if they're a demi-plane spell. I think you're thinking about I know it's a warlock spell. I always forget what it's called. Warlocks have access to it. It's one of the Miss Arcanum options, I think, for level like 7 or 8. Oh, whoops. Yeah, demi-plane, yeah, but that one's pretty strong. I need to deal with my bots that are fighting each other. That's so funny. Wizard and Warlock spell. Yeah. Okay, when summoned, this plant will be dormant as a seed. You can drop the seed on a place within 30 feet that you can see. As a reaction, you can awaken the plant. When awakened, the plant unleashed its leafy tentacles. All enemy creatures within 15 feet of the plant must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they are restrained, and the area is considered difficult terrain. Okay, that's cool. At the end of their turn, it's cool because you can like do this as a bonus action. Actually, you might want to specify what action placing the seed costs. Is it something that you can just, like, if it's no action required, you should write no action required. As a reaction, yeah, I like that as a reaction you can awaken the plant because you can, like, time it for when specific creatures are over it. That's cool. I will say, though, for it being too high for an artificer, I would take a look at the alchemist. The alchemist, their capstone, they get to cast Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron without expending a spell slot, and that is a 6th level spell. So there's precedent for it in the game and for artificers. At the end of their turn, they can attempt. Yeah, I like Snagging Vine. I think it's cool. Ooh. Yeah, it is the capstone. You're right. Seed turret. You can spend 2 of your seed points. I forgot what it's called, what the acronym is. It's fine. You spend 2 of your seed dice to summon this plant. When summoned, this plant will be dormant as a seed. Okay, so that's. Oh wait, no. This appears in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you and cannot move. Armor class 16 hit points, 5 platinum. Artificer level. Bonus action, you can command this plant to fire a seed pod anywhere within 60 feet of the plant. The seed pod explodes, unleashing a hail of spikes into 25 emanation. Any creature within the emanation must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, they take bludgeoning damage equal to 2 rolls of your seed die and gain the poison condition until the end of your next turn. Okay. Yeah. I'm assuming this uses the typical pet class rules, or maybe I think you should specify how it works, like if it's a pet class rule or if it's like the summon spells, because that's not as clear. Oh, unless it's like just saying that you can command it as a bonus action to do these things. That might be what you're going for. Burrowing Tuber, you expend 2 seed dice to summon a large hollow pod. in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. As a bonus action, you can command the pod to attempt to envelop a creature within 30 feet. An unwilling creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or become enclosed within the pod. While enclosed, the creature is restrained, has total cover, and is carried underground. As part of the same bonus action, you may move the pod through the ground up to 60 feet to space you can see. Creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turns, escaping on success. The pod. Okay. Question: what happens when they escape the pod? Are they now 60 feet underground? Because that might be a lot. It doesn't move. I see. And you can command it to do stuff as a bonus action. Yeah, I would probably just specify that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah, you can't see a space. Yeah, I would just say that the pod ejects them then, yeah. You repeat the same throw, the individual escaping on a success. Pod lasts for 1 minute. Yeah. I like the flavor of this for sure. Ooh. I feel like if this is essentially kind of like banishment, but with a plant flavor, it being 60 feet to a place you can see isn't as important. Maybe it should just be like they go underground. And then we have dandelion helicopter, I assume. Dandeliocopter. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 seed dash to go an enormous dandelion that immediately goes to seed. While the creature holds that dandelion, they gain a flying speed equal to its walking speed, but must end each turn on solid ground or descend. Okay, so this is like the hover ability, like from like the like Haverdozy from like that one book in 5e. Basically, you can glide, or like the Psy warrior fighter. You can use it to move allies. Oh, you know what? I think I was thinking of it going directly down, but you're saying through the ground. It's like a mole, like on the surface. Is that what it's kind of going for? So you can like move it to a point you can see, but it's just kind of like a little bit under the ground. If that's the case, then that makes sense. But yeah, this is like a hover glide ability, basically. Or the Psy Warrior jump ability. Okay. And now we got Snapdragon. You have proved yourself to the Great Garden, and as such, you are recognized as a true master botanist. As such, you can now call upon a true apex in the horticultural world. Oh yeah, like the Earth Elemental's Earth Glide. Yeah, it moves through the ground to a point you can see. Yeah, that makes sense. As an action, you can expend at least half of your maximum seed dice, rounded down, to summon the Draco and however you pronounce that Impertrator in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. Plant remains for 1 hour or until reduced to 0 hit points. Creature is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your commands. It shares your initiative count and takes its turn immediately after yours. I know it's busted, but I love it. No regrets. If it's for a home game, you know, it is what it is. It shares your initiative count and takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use its reaction on its own unless you take a bonus action to command it to do otherwise. The only action it can take is its bite action. You can empower the Snapdragon by expending additional seed dice when summoning it, granting it additional evolutionary traits. Once you summon the Snapdragon, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. So it's a once per long rest ability. I'm assuming you say at least half because adding more dice adds more things. Yes, it seems to be the case. Snapdragon grows another head. Its multi-attack gains 1 additional bite attack. It gains 1 additional reaction each round. Yeah. This thing is pretty crazy, but seems pretty cool. Corrosive venom. Snapdragon's poison becomes acidic. Bite attacks deal acid damage instead of poison damage. Creature hit by a bite takes additional acid damage equal to your intelligence modifier at the start of its next turn until the acid is removed. Paralytic spores. The Snapdragon releases necrotic pollen in a 50-foot emanation. Saw creatures that start their turn in the area must succeed on a con save against your botanist save DC or become restrained. Okay. Then +4 seed dice. Solar Bloom Cannon. Snapdragon fires a 60-foot long, 10-foot wide beam of concentrated sunlight. Creatures in line must make a saving throw against your botanist save DC. Like 8d10 radiant damage on a fail save, or half as much on a successful one. Creatures that fail are blinded until the start of the Snapdragon's next turn. I would say that this is... If you weren't doing this for a home game, I would say this is too complicated for a subclass. Since it's for a home game, if the player is fine with it, this is totally fine. Author's notes. I know that this adds another resource to track. I considered using the infusion slots to simplify it, but I like where I went with it. Yeah. I know the level 15 feature is a bit overkill, and I did make more in line with standard artificers, but I hate the standard is so bad. So I did what I did. Is it OP? Maybe. But at level 15, full casters are doing crazier stuff. I have more ideas for plants and could present them in an extended document, but there's enough choice here. I'm sure there are loads I could tidy up or change, so please let me know. I hope you do play the subclass and get some fun out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, more so than power level, it's more just busy, like Kevin said. Like, now this is just a recommendation. Do with it what you will. Maybe consider taking your favorites and just upgrading them. Because most subclasses, especially artificers, they have like a few options and then they get stronger. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just a lot of options. But again, if this is for a home game and it's like something that you're playing, as long as your DM is okay with it, then that's fine. For formatting, you use the correct language almost all the time. We've already shared most of the stuff that's maybe a little off. In these situations where you make tables when describing stuff, that's also not typical. Typically, this is in paragraph form. Yeah, it's very crunchy, and that is the narrowed down list. But yeah. But again, this is for your home game. If it's for a home game, you do with it what you will. Anyway, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. I've done 3 so far in 2.5 hours. I will say though, there's 11, and I plan to do more streams like these. I'm probably gonna do this definitely at least once a month. Sorry, that was gross. And I'll probably do it. I might do it more often. I'm still gonna go for a while on. But let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Let's see if this is a... Okay, we got a ranger. It's Lath. It's your subclass. It's public D&D Beyond Homebrew, so freely available, but limited to SRD 5.2 spells. Yes. as far as advice or feedback they're wanting. Nothing in particular, just feedback. I wrote the first version of this subclass back in 2021, and it's been through a bunch of iterations since then. At the time, I wanted an evil coded ranger subclass and was frustrated about all the existing ranger subclasses being good coded. Even the Gloomstalker was originally described as someone who protects the wilder world from the threats in the darkness. I also wanted something less sneaky and more aggressive, so just reflavoring Gloomstalker wouldn't have done it for me. That's understandable. Ooh. You might be last for today. We'll see. I have to say your document is one of the shorter ones. There was a full class document that I skipped for later. So yeah. Let's see. So we got the Desolator. But yeah, we just had the Villainous Options UA come out the last, few months ago. So, obviously Watsy's interested in this sort of thing. Okay, so Desolator, a growing desert, an unending drought, a deadly plague, a volcanic eruption, a predator driving its prey to extinction. A circle of druids might look upon these things and declare them as a threat to the fragile balance of nature. You see no need for this so-called balance to be maintained. Nature is merciless, resilient, and does not reject rapid and violent change. People do. Yeah, no, that is totally fair. There's most extinction events in history just happened because of nature, so that makes sense. You are a desolator, a ranger who embraces their crueler aspects of nature and does not hesitate to wipe regions clean of species unworthy of continued existence. Once you set your eyes upon such a foe, you seldom rest until the rivers run red with their blood and the earth is littered with carrion. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, we got Desolator spells. We have Ray of Sickness. Ray of Sickness is definitely improved in 2024, in my opinion. Spike Growth. Stinking Cloud, Blight, and Contagion. So these are all very thematic. Some of them are spells that aren't very, like Blight isn't very strong of a spell, but it is very thematic. So I understand why it's on here. Okay, level 3, we have Ruthless Predator. I have some burping happening, so that's why I mute the mic. Sorry, guys. I ate barbecue right before I started this stream. Oh, yeah. No, I totally understand. I'm limited to SRD spells too, so I get it. We might look at some SRD spells. Like, let me real quick look at the wizard spell list, because I feel like level 4. Like, what about Wall of Fire or Vitriolic? Like, I feel like something like this could be good, because fire is a part of Desolation, but that's just an idea. Wait, yeah, Blight's a 4th level spell, right? Yeah. Anyway, Ruthless Predator, your instincts guide you towards your prey's weak points, granting you the following benefits. Improve critical, your attack rolls score a critical hit on 19 or 20 on the d20. Okay, cool. Sickening Strike, once per turn, when you hit an already bloody creature with an attack roll or score a critical hit against a creature. You can force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, it has the poison condition until the end of your next turn. Okay. Okay, so you on bloodied creatures once per turn, or creatures you score a critical hit on, you can give them the poison condition until the end of their next turn. Yeah, you can just say a bloodied creature. That's true. Um, maybe this is just me, but because you're limiting it to bloodied or creatures you score a critical hit on, how about it just automatically applies poisoned? Especially because it only lasts until the end of your next turn. Just an idea, though. Ooh. Scent of blood. You have a limited form of blind spite. Blind spite. You have a limited form of blind sight with a range of 90 feet. With which you can only see bloody creatures. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah. If you want to be more in line with official rules, Kevin's right. Uh, and then so that's level 3. Let me see. How do I think this is strong enough? You get expanded crit range. You get to add a condition to bloody creatures or creatures you crit with, and since you have an expanded crit range, you're more likely to crit. And you get this unique blind sight ability. I honestly think you could go for some other benefit on top of this, or if you just make it so that they automatically gain the poison condition. See, another reason why you should just let them automatically become poisoned is a lot of creatures are immune to poisoned. So if you're fighting a creature that thankfully is not immune to poison, it would suck if they succeed on their con save. You know what I mean? Especially since this is on your spell save DC on a half caster. So you're yeah, bumping Sickening Strike would be enough. Yeah. And you're a half caster, so your spell save DC isn't as high as full casters. But I really like this. This is very clean and simple. And this looks like an official subclass. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We got level 7, Vicious Pursuit. When you take the dash action or cast a spell from your Desolator Spells feature, you can move. You can make one attack with a weapon as a bonus action. Okay. Hmm. Okay, this is cool. So I kind of get what you're going with here. It seems to be like this is kind of a roundabout way to give them a bonus action dash or quicken spell. Because so like essentially in a way you're getting to replace one of your attacks with a spell at the cost of a bonus action, kind of, like if you think about it the other way around, or you can sacrifice one of your attacks and a bonus action to dash. Does that kind of make sense? Like, um it's a it's a different way of doing that. It makes the dash action or casting a spell not feel as bad on a half caster. So yeah, that's pretty solid. I like it. And your Devastator spells, like, casting Spike Growth, and then as a bonus action, getting to use like a push weapon, that would be pretty cool. Like stuff like that. There's some cool combos here. You can't quite reach the enemy that you're trying to hit. You use your action to dash, and then you can bonus action hit them. That's super cool. Festering Wound, level 11. You can deal an extra 2d6 necrotic damage whenever you use your Sickening Strike. Okay. Additionally, if the target fails the saving throw, it can't regain hit points until the end of your next turn. Okay. So I think this is totally fair. So basically, once per turn, you get to add 2d6 necrotic damage if on bloody creatures, and you didn't have a damage bonus prior to this. So this is interesting because most rangers get a damage boost to level 3, and this hasn't gotten one until here at level 11. And it is a bit higher. Like the Gloomstalker, theirs is at. Let me look real quick. I'm pretty sure the Gloomstalker gets, is it 2d6 as well? But it's limited. Yeah, the crit range definitely, yeah, that does give it a bit of a damage boost. I think also the Beastmaster, though, I might have to consider when it comes to damage boost. So Dreadful Strikes is... Oh, no, that's the Fey Wanderer. Gloomstalker gets Dreadful Strike. Oh, they both get Dreadful Strike, but this is... Oh, Dreadful Strikes and Dreadful Strike. So they get 2d6 psychic damage, but it's limited to Wisdom mod times per long rest. This is 2d6 damage whenever you use Sickening Strike, which doesn't have a limit to how many times. Additionally, if the target fails the saving throw, it can't regain hit. It's a 3d6 and reach level 15. But you're getting this way delayed. This ranger is getting a level 3. So I think that's probably fine. Especially because they get a bonus at level 11, it becomes 2d8. And then it gets additional effects on top of that at level 11. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's especially because rangers struggle at higher levels anyway. I think ranger is one of the only subclasses, like classes, that when you make a subclass, I'm okay with it being a little more powerful than official subclasses. Yeah, Fey Wanderer's extra damage is also unlimited, but it's a lot lower, you know what I mean? Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, they do suffer at higher levels. And then level 15, yeah, we get the 3d6 level 15. We get Virulent Demise. Once per turn, when a creature is reduced to 0 hit points by you, or while poisoned by you. Oh, cool. You can apply your Sickening Strike to each other creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. Within 30 feet of it. This doesn't count towards Sickening Strike's limitation of once per turn. Okay. So you kill a creature, boom, this happens, or someone else kills a creature, or you, but they're poisoned. You can apply a Sickening Strike to each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of it. And Sickening Strike at this point is 3d6 necrotic damage, and it could poison them. Yeah. This is very specific. It's either if you reduce them to 0 hit points, which doesn't happen very often, and then a lot of creatures are immune to poison at level 15, so that's gonna like this is pretty rare that this is gonna happen actually, but when it does happen, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Instead of it, could say the creature. Yeah. I honestly, the only thing I would say about this, I think I would like some other bonus. Like, this is pretty powerful and pretty good, but it's not gonna come up like that much, if you understand. When it does come up, it's gonna be awesome. But I would maybe think about adding one more, even if it's just a ribbon, one more little level 15 ability. Like maybe something with Vicious Pursuit. Like when you take a dash action or cast a spell from the Devastator Spells feature, you can make one attack weapon as a bonus action. Maybe your blind sight. Maybe either your blind sight has an extended range. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Kevin. Yeah, maybe the dash action just becomes a bonus action. And you can make an attack. And then you can still do your full action. Yeah. So, like, yeah, Verdant Demise is strong, but it's not going to happen that often. So, maybe an upgrade to Vicious Pursuit. Oh, I see. You got your different versions of it, too. But overall, this is a very clean subclass. Looks very official. If people want to play it, it's on D&D Beyond. I'll put the link in the chat. Other people want to check it out. But yeah, let's see. It's 5:48. What do I want to do? We got a rogue subclass we could do. Ooh. If I did remove the saving throw on Sickening Strike, would that change your opinion on later features? For Verdant Demise, this is essentially another effect happening. Like a new effect happening. Maybe have the saving throw apply to Virulent Demise. Like add if they fail, like what's returned when an enemy is reduces their hit points by you or while poisoned by you. You can apply your Sickening Strike to each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet if they fail a Constitution saving throw. This doesn't count towards Sickening Strike's limitation. Yeah. limitation of once per turn. Yeah, maybe. I feel like that might keep it balanced. Because yeah, it would suck to nerf the level 3 version to make the level 15 more balanced. Do you know what I mean? Let me see. I'm just cleaning out the ones I already covered so that I can remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I have 9. I covered, was it 4 or 5? I covered like 5. Would it be too crazy to just let Verdant Demise happen without a save? I don't think so, but maybe limit how often you can use it. At the very least, I don't know. If it's without a save, I feel like, and like, how do I say it? It's not going to happen very often anyway because it has very specific triggers. So maybe making it wisdom mod times per long rest wouldn't matter that much. Once per short rest would honestly be pretty understandable. Have it be another creature within 30 feet. Takes 3d6 necrotic damage. Yeah, if you don't want it to be an AoE, like, So here's the question. Do you want this to be something that only happens sometimes but is really impactful? Or do you want it to be something that you can feel the use of often? You know, like it could just be you can sickening strike another creature within range, one creature, but it's when any creature is reduced to 0 hit points, like Kevin said. And if it's that, I wouldn't put a limit on it. I could just every turn, if a creature is reduced to 0 hit points, you can sickening strike another creature within 30 feet. That could be pretty cool. Yeah. Let me see. I might do one more. I'll try to find one that's a bit shorter. Okay, we got a there's a warlock subclass. Ooh, paladin. Yeah. Let me have a look real quick. What about this one? Barbarian Path of the Ooh, okay. Okay. I found one that we can do. It's a short barbarian subclass. It's 1 page. That's real nice. This is from C4B. Just for a home game. As far as feedback, nothing. I'm just curious of hearing feedback for both subclasses. Cheers. Yeah, I'm gonna pick one for this stream. I'm gonna do the barbarian. So C4B has this barbarian Path of the Breach. I see he's using the Homebrew. Nice, nice, nice. Got this cool ogre art, it looks like. And this is just for Home game. Okay. Barbarian Path of the Breach. Raid the weak and claim what survives. Path of the Breach is followed by barbarians who survive through raiding, scavenging, and ruthless instinct. This is Homebrew Cree. What? By the way, what is GM Binder? I actually don't know what that is. I hear people talk about it, but I don't. I don't know what it is. It's probably crazy for me. The Path of the Breach is followed by barbarians who survive through raiding, scavenging, and ruthless instinct. Website that's like Homebrew Cree. I see. A land stripped bare by ruin and violence. Breachers prey on the weak, stripped abandoned camps for resources, and live by taking what others fail to protect. Their rage is the hunger to endure in a dying world. Okay, so we have level 3, Make Do. You gain the following benefits. Improviser. You gain proficiency with one type of artisan tools of your choice, and you gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. Okay. Solid. With the 1 hour of work with any artisan's tools, you can create a portable ram. Okay. I would consider this. I know this because one of my players did it. Woodcarver's tools have portable ram. Or, oh, is it Tinker Tools? Where is it? I saw it. It's a craft. It's a thing you can already craft. Maybe it's, what is that? Is it Tinker's Tools? Huh. I remember seeing it. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, let me, Carpenter's Tools. That makes sense. Oh. The wife called me. Yeah, Carpenter's Tools. Carpenter's Tools can already make a portable ram. And what is the crafting time? It's just adventuring gear. So it would be like 1 day, right? Is that how that works? Craft. I guess, wait, what's the gold cost? The gold cost is 4 GP. Yeah, isn't crafting mundane? It's like the gold costs. It's been a while since I've mundane crafting. Crafting. Oh yeah. You know what? Crafting equipment. Time. Yeah. Maybe use some verbiage from Artificer's Tinker's Magic. Yeah, that's true. Also, or like the subclass where you can craft in half or 1/4 the time. Also, there is also the herbalism kit. Herbalism kit specifically says a character who has proficiency with the herbalism kit can create a potion of healing. Doing so requires using this kit and 25 GP of raw material over the course of 1 day, 8 hours of work. You could use similar verbiage to this, and instead of giving them any tool proficiency, give them carpenter's tools, and then have it so that they can craft a portable ram in 1 hour. because portable ram can already be crafted with a specific tool. Siege weapon, you can wield a portable ram as a martial weapon with which you have proficiency. Okay, I love that. For you, it has the properties of a maul. It becomes a +1 maul at barbarian level 6, and a +2 maul at barbarian level 10, and a +3 maul at barbarian level 14. Okay. Raycraft was supposed to be like the 5e Artificer, where it didn't matter what tools you used. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I think this is fine. There's probably more official wording you can use for upgrading it, but I understand what's going on and I understand what's happening, and I think it's fine. Breaching tactics. Once on each of your turns while your rage is active, when you hit a creature with your portable ram after moving at least 10 feet in a straight line toward it, you can apply the push mastery property in addition to topple. The target also has disadvantage on the topple saving throw and takes extra bludgeoning damage equal to half your barbarian level. Huh. See, this is something interesting. It's considered a ram. It's considered a ram. So I feel like that would mean that it would have the mastery property of... It's considered a maul, so I would think that would mean it has the mastery property of maul, right? But I guess it doesn't in this case. So maybe it already has the push mastery, because maul has push mastery. But anyway, yeah, so you can push and topple them. Target also has disadvantage on the topple saving throw and takes extra bludgeoning damage equal to half your barbarian level. Maul is topple, okay. In addition to topple. Okay. Since maul is topple, then that makes sense. That wording is fine. That was just me not understanding the game. The target also has disadvantage on the topple saving throw and takes extra bludgeoning damage equal to half your barbarian level. Huh. That's why you have disadvantage, yeah. I feel like it's fine. Typically, barbarians, when they do extra damage, it's like a number of dice, like d6s. This just has half your barbarian level. I don't think it's broken at all. I think it's fine. Let's check out level 6 though. Disrupting Slam once per rage, which that's a thing that other barbarians do. When you see a creature within 60 feet of you casting a spell, you can take a reaction to slam the portable ram into the ground. Each creature of your choice in a 60-foot emanation takes 1d4 bludgeoning damage. The creature casting the spell must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. There's a typo and strength modifier, or its spell is interrupted. Okay. I think this is design the reason you want this to have this ability makes sense, but unfortunately in the game now almost nothing actually casts spells. So this level 6 ability would oftentimes never come up. I think you should add an ability that you can use every day to level 6. Or make this have a different trigger. Maybe you can just do this once per rage when someone hits you. Or maybe you can do it to replace one of your attacks. And if it so happens that you know what? This is basically counterspell with a secondary effect. Keep it a reaction. You can even keep the trigger of someone casting a spell, but also allow yourself to be able to use it when someone's not casting a spell, because this is almost never going to come up. Think that Mage Slayer changed? Yeah. So yeah, I would consider that. But besides that, it's like a fine ability. I would also maybe raise the damage. The 1d4 is pretty low. I understand that it's meant to be mostly a thematic counterspell. But yeah, just consider that. Level 10, raiding the land. You can add your strength modifier to your initiative rolls. Totally fair. Additionally, attack rolls against you can't have advantage during your first round of each combat. You know what? I think this is just an idea, but what if you add another feature that's similar to the newer. Okay, let me find it. Rules. So this Lorwyn Changeling has this ability called Unpredictable Movements. Whenever you roll initiative, you can immediately move up to half your speed, provided you don't have disadvantage on the initiative roll. Add this ability. Oh, I guess the Barbarian already had. Okay, no. The Barbarian has this ability, kind of, but it's when they rage. Let me look at the Barbarian base class. I have caps lock on. Barbarian base class has orcs have bonus action dash. Right? I thought they have bonus action dash. I'm thinking of instinctive pounce. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So Barbarian base class has, as part of the bonus action you take to enter your rage, you can move up to half your speed. How about you get this Lorwyn Changeling ability? Whenever you roll initiative, you can immediately move up to half your speed, provided you don't have disadvantage on the initiative roll. And then it'll give you a thematic bonus that'll make sense why you have a better initiative. So you have a better initiative now. You have a better initiative now. And then when combat starts, before combat even starts, you can rush someone, and then let's go ahead and let it so you can attack someone too, because you're running at them with your ram. That would be cool. Just an idea though. Capstone, we have rules of the incursion. Choose one of the following benefits. You can change your choice when you finish a short or long rest. Take no prisoners. Your breaching tactics feature can score a critical hit on a roll of 18 to 20 on the d20. Oh, wait, what? Breaching tactics. Oh, I see. So once per turn, when you hit, you could potentially score a crit on a 18 or 20. Okay, that's fine. When you hit a creature with your breach tactics, you can forego the push and topple properties to make the attack a deadly concussion. Ooh. If the target is bloodied, it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. A plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus, or have the stun condition until the start of your next turn. Huh. I don't think you need to limit it to bloodied creatures. I think they added that because they were worried it was too strong. This is basically a stunning strike at the cost of your weapon masteries for a level 14 capstone once per turn. Yeah, just don't limit it to bloodied creatures unless it's a thematic reason. Or when you rage, you can move up to half your speed as part of the bonus action. See, Kevin, they already barbarians already have that in the base class. So, yeah, for 2024. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid barbarian. For raiding the land, say attack rolls against you don't have advantage during that time. Ah, yeah. Because doesn't the shifter have something like that? Or maybe they're using the shifter. The new shifter has an ability. No creature within 30 feet of you can have advantage on attack roll against you unless you have the incapacity condition. What did they write? Attack rolls against you don't have. No creature. No. How about no creature? No creature can have advantage on you during the first round of each combat. Yeah. That would be something we could look at is the shifter for that wording. Ooh, man. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the stream today. I think I gotta make them be more common. I didn't think I would get this many submissions for the first one, to be honest. So I'm honestly really stoked for that. And I used to stream a lot more in the past. So I might consider doing another stream in like 2 weeks, but I'm definitely going to do them at least once a month. And I'm going to try to post my homebrewery tutorial next weekend. I'm going to work on it. And then pretty soon here I'm going to be quitting my job. Oh, this is yours? Nice. You can look back at the VOD, but I really like this barbarian. I gave some advice on possible changes, but yeah, super solid. I'm gonna cover what subclass was that? I'm gonna cover the paladin next time. I just got we had a lot of longer submissions at the beginning of the stream, and so yeah, I had to kind of pick and choose. And yours got picked as the final one because it was a bit shorter and easier to read. So yeah, but thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. The VOD is gonna stay up, and you guys, if you guys in the comments want to recommend anything for my streams in the future, if you want to maybe help me consider like what how often I should have them, and maybe if I should write more rules on the Google Drive sheet, let me know. But have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.